Once more into the breach, dear friends, once more, or close the wall up with our English dead. In peace, there's nothing so becomes a man as modest stillness and humility. But when the blast of war blows in our ears, and imitate the action of the tiger, stiffen the sinews, conjure up the blood, disguise fair nature with hard-favoured rage, then lend the eye a terrible aspect. Let it pry through the portage of the head like the brass cannon. Let the brow o'erwhelm it as fearfully as doth a galled rock o'erhang and jutty his confounded base, swilled with the wild and wasteful ocean. Now, set the teeth and stretch the nostril wide, hold hard the breath and bend up every spirit to his full height. On! On, you noblest English, whose blood is fet from fathers of war proof. Fathers that, like so many Alexanders, have in these parts from morn till even fought and sheathed their swords for lack of argument. Dishonour not your mothers. Now attest that those whom you call fathers did beget you. Be copy now to men of grosser blood, and teach them how to war. And you, good yeoman, whose limbs were made in England, show us here the mettle of your pasture. Let us swear that you are worth your breeding, which I doubt not, for there is none of you so mean and base that have not noble lustre in your eyes. I see you stand like greyhounds in slips, straining upon the start. The game's afoot, follow your spirit, and upon this charge cry God for England, Harry and St. George. How yet resolves the governor of the town. This is the latest parley we will admit. Therefore to our best mercy give yourselves, or like to men proud of destruction, defy us to our worst. For as I am a soldier, a name that in my thoughts becomes me best, if I begin the battery once again, I will not leave the half-achieved half-law, till in her ashes she lie buried. The gates of mercy shall be all shut up, and the fleshed soldier, rough and hard of heart, in liberty of bloody hand shall rage, with conscience wide as hell, mowing like grass your fresh fair virgins and your flowering infants. What did then to me if impious war, arrayed in flames like to the prince of fiends, do with smirched complexion all fell feats in linked to waste and desolation? What's it then to me when you yourselves are cause, if your pure maidens fall into the hand of hot and forcing violation? What reign can hold licentious wickedness when down the hill he holds his fierce career? We may as bootless spend our vain command upon the enraged soldiers in their spoil, as send precepts to the Leviathan to come ashore. Therefore, you men of half-law, take pity of your town and of your people, whilst yet my soldiers are in my command, whilst yet the cool and temperate wind of grace blows the filthy and contagious clouds of heady murder, spoil and villainy. If not, why, in a moment, look to see the blind and bloody soldier with foul hand defile the locks of your shrill shrieking daughters, your fathers taken by their silver beards and their most reverend heads dashed to the walls, your naked infants spitted upon pikes, while their mad mothers with their howls confused do break the clouds, as did the wives of Jewry at Herod's bloody slaughterment. What say you? Will you yield in this avoid, or guilty in defence be thus destroyed? Indeed, the French may lay 20 French crowns to 1. They will beat us, for they bear them on their shoulders, but it is no English treason to cut French crowns, and tomorrow the king himself will be a clipper. Upon the king, let us our lives, our souls, our debts, our careful wives, our children, and our sins lay on the king. We must bear all. Our condition. Twin born with greatness, subject to the breath of every fool, whose sense no more can feel but his own ringing. What infinite heart's ease must kings neglect that private men enjoy, and what have kings that privates have not too? Save ceremony, save general ceremony, And what art thou, thou idle ceremony? What kind of god art thou, that sufferest more of mortal griefs than do thy worshippers? What are thy rents? What are thy comings in? O ceremony, show me but thy worth. What, is thy soul of adoration? Art thou aught else but place, degree, and form, creating awe and fear in other men, wherein thou art less happy being feared than they in fearing? What drinkest thou oft, instead of homage sweet but poisoned flattery? Oh, be sick, great greatness, and bid thy ceremony give thee cure. Thinkest thou the fiery fever will go out with titles blown from adulation? Will it give place to flexure and low bending? Canst thou, when thou commands the beggar's knee, command the hell for it? No. Thou proud dream that playest so subtly with the king's repose. I am a king that find thee, and I know 'tis not the balm, the sceptre and the ball, the sword, the mace, the crown imperial, the intertissued robe of gold and pearl, the farced title running for the king, the throne he sits on, nor the tide of pomp that beats upon the high shore of this world. No, not all these thrice gorgeous ceremony, not all these laid in bed majestical can sleep so soundly as the wretched slave, who with a body filled and vacant mind, gets him to rest, crammed with distressful bread, never sees horrid night, the child of hell, but like a lackey from rise to set, sweats in the eye of Phoebus, and all night sleeps in Elysium. Next day after dawn doth rise and help Hyperion to his horse, and follows so the ever-running year, with profitable labour to his grave. And but for ceremony, such a wretch, winding up days with toil and nights with sleep, had the forehand advantage of a king. The slave, a member of the country's peace, enjoys it, but engrossed brain little wots what watch the king keeps to maintain the peace, whose hours the peasant best advantages.